Hi my lovely Frosty Fam, it's me, Karen Frost here at Nail Decadence with another video for you. In this video I will be using some acrylic. I'm using the Ink London acrylic system and a few other little bits and bobs, some glitter, some, silver foil, so it's silver leaf instead of gold leaf, and these little shell shards, these shell pieces. They're really, really pretty. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. And obviously I've got some top coat and stuff. I love the SBD London top coat and I love the SBD London diamond gel for putting on crystals. The top coat is really hard wearing. The diamond gel holds crystals on really well. So those are two products that I really love. And I also love this brush that I got from SBD London too. This is the oval number 16. It's a really nice acrylic brush to use. Also got some chrome powder, pearly, yeah, it's chrome powder, so I'll be using some of that as well. So let us begin. So I have pushed back my cuticles, removed the shine from the natural nail. I've applied my tips, blended those in and applied my thin clear base before I started recording. And now I'm applying some of the Cover Pink to my little finger. I'm not building any strength with this. Yes, you can build a nail with the Cover Pink. It is a strength powder, but I tend to cap everything. So I'm just getting enough product on to make the Cover Pink opaque, but I will be building my strength when I cap it in clear, because that's the way I like to do it. And it also helps to make my coloured powders last a little bit longer by using less. So I'm using more of the clear. Clear is the cheapest of the powders, it's the strongest, and I like the way it looks over the top of a colour. Clear just, I don't know, it's like a glass topper to me over a colour powder, and I really enjoy it. But each to their own. There's no wrong or right way to do it. If you want to build the nail in the Cover Pink, you go ahead, that's not a problem, but this is just the way I like to do things. So on to the ring finger again. I'm using that Cover Pink. As you can see, I'm building up the opaqueness, patting and pressing, trying to keep the sides from bulging out too much, so that's why I swipe the brush down the side of the nails so that the acrylic doesn't bulge out too much on the sides, so that I will have less filing to do. So in with that cuticle bead, tap around that cuticle area, get it nice and flush with the natural nail, and then blend the front of the bead down into the rest of the Cover Pink. On to the middle finger again with the Cover Pink. This is a really simple set to do, but it still comes out really pretty. It doesn't look boring, although there's not much to it, if that makes sense. I wanted something a bit more simple, but yet doesn't look simple, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain what I mean, but it's a simple set to do, but it doesn't, you know, give the effect of just being simple. It's still quite a nice, pretty set. So I'll just keep adding my Cover Pink, as you can see, just tapping around that cuticle area, get that nice and flush with the rest of the nail, and then I leave that back of the bead there where it is, and I only bring down the front of the bead to blend into the other product that I've laid on. And if I need to add any little bit more, any gaps, I will do. Onto the index finger. I forgot what finger it was then. Again with the Cover Pink. Now you can see the way I'm applying it. I place the bead, and then I sort of bring the rest of the bead down to give me coverage, and I'm just sort of patting and pressing and swiping the side of the nails, keeping the shape there. Again with the next bead, put the bead down, place the bead down, should I say, then start brushing it and patting it, getting it to where I need it to be. and if I've pulled it down too far, I will brush it backwards if necessary. Then I add my cuticle bead. So I'm doing sort of the 3 bead method in, you know, trying to get my coverage, but that doesn't mean that I'm restricted by those 3 beads. If I need to add another bead or anywhere, I will do. So yeah, but I'm keeping that, you know, the layers thing, because like I said, I'm going to be capping, but also I'm adding some of those shell pieces to this now. So I definitely didn't want to have too much pink of the cover pink there, because obviously if it's too thick, when I cap the shell pieces, I could end up filing into them by trying to get the nail to the correct thickness or thinness, whichever way you look at it. And the last thing I want to do is file into those bits. So I want to make sure that that cover pink was nice and thin, so that I've got a good margin to add my clear on top to make sure those pieces are safely encapsulated and won't be filed into. Then I added some of that silver glitter in a diagonal line, and then also some of the silver leaf behind the glitter, and I put those on using some clear acrylic, very tiny amount of clear acrylic to just get them to stick on. You don't need a lot. And then I'll let that set up, move on to the thumb, same as the others. I'm just getting that cover pink on, laying it nice and smoothly as I can, using my brush to make sure that there's less filing. So the neater you are with the brush, the less filing you have. So sometimes my application can be a little bit sloppy, but the more you do with the brush, the less you'll have to do with the hand file. So just try and do your best. If it comes out sloppy, yes, you can fix it with filing, but try and aim to be a bit neater with your application. I mean, I'm not saying we don't all have off days. We all have off days. Like I said, sometimes I have an off day and my application is pants and it's sloppy. I end up having to file a lot more than I would like. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Sometimes I have months in between doing a set because I have, you know, my ill health. Most of you know about that already. I'm not going to, you know, go over it, but I have trouble with my muscles and my joints, and they cause me a lot of pain. So sometimes there are months in between me playing with my nail stuff, and sometimes it gets me out of practice, so that when I do start again, it takes a little bit of a while for me to get back into the swing of things, because you kind of fall out of practice with it. But once you do a few more sets, you find your flow again. So yeah, that's just one of those things. If you're consistent with your practicing, it'll be easier for you. But if you have to take breaks, and then you find that when you start again, your application isn't on point, don't stress about it. Just keep going, and muscle memory will come back, and you will find your flow again. So try not to stress about it too much. Anywho, so now obviously I'm capping all of the nails with my clear acrylic. It was setting up quite quickly. It was fairly warm in the room, and I was using the fast set acrylic monomer, so that's why it's setting up quite quickly. So I have to work quite fast. So my application is not great because it was starting to set up quite quick, but it's, you know, like I said, it's not the end of the world. Just do your best. That's all you can do. Just do your best. But it's manageable. So as you can see, I'm just working my way on this occasion, because you all know, if you've watched me long enough, you'll know I don't necessarily apply my acrylic the same all the time. Sometimes I start at the cuticle area, sometimes I start in the middle of the nail. On this occasion, I was sticking with sort of doing the free edge first and working my way up towards the cuticle area that way. You don't have to do it that way, but you know, on this occasion, that's how I was feeling to do it, so that's why I did it. Because it's more of a basic application of the set, because of the just being mostly just the cover pink and then encapsulating with clear. It's easier to keep the application consistent from one nail to the other. If you're doing a more involved, intricate set with you know, more to do with the like acrylic, as in, you know, color blocking and stuff, your application will not be the same on every nail, obviously. So it's not such a big deal to keep your application the same on each nail. What's more important is your filing routine. So just, you know, get your acrylic on whichever way suits you. You don't have to do it the same on every nail, but once you get to the filing part, that's where your consistency needs to be really put into practice. That way you get a more uniform set. So as you can see, I'm just encapsulating all of those little bits and bobs that I put on the index finger. You want your bead to be slightly wetter when you're doing this. Brushing along the nail with the monomer first before you start applying the clear acrylic helps as well. That's just so that when you're applying the clear acrylic over the top, that you don't get air pockets, and that you get good clarity over the bits that you're encapsulating. It all helps. So slightly wetter beads when you're encapsulating something, and brushing over the nail with monomer before you start applying that acrylic, it all sort of helps it to sort of flow and settle in nicely over the bits you're encapsulating. So yeah, just give that a go if you're struggling with like air pockets or dry patches in your acrylic powder. Just yeah, try and sort of dampen the nail down first, then apply a slightly wetter bead, and it should help you. So as you can see, I'm just comparing my nails to my other hand, because again, that's all to do with uniformity. When you want your set to be consistent, that's what you need to do, is compare both hands, compare the fingers on one hand, just compare the width, the thickness, all of that stuff. Get that all done. And as you see, excuse me, I filed off camera on this occasion. Sorry, my Frosty filing freaks, no filing in this one. There's plenty of my other videos that have filing though. And now I'm just applying some top coat to this nail, because on the little finger I'm applying the chrome powder. So I applied the top coat, obviously I cured that in the LED lamp for 60 seconds, straight out of the lamp, rub in the chrome powder, and as you can see, that's what happens. It gets a nice look. Now with the chrome powders, it's different depending on what color you're rubbing it over. So like if you was to put it over black, it would look more silver. If you put it over say a neon orange, it would look more sort of coral. So yeah, play with the chrome powder over different colors. You get it looks different every time, and I think it's really pretty. It looks more pearly over this cover pink. And as you saw, I just used a lint-free wipe and some rubbing alcohol to make sure that none of the particles from the chrome powder are on my other nails, because I want the other nails to stay, you know, without the chrome powder all over them, you know what I mean. So as you can see, I've applied my diamond gel, and I'm applying some lovely crystals. I love these crystals. Oh, they're so pretty. Look at that. So I'm adding some sort of AB crystals, some teardrops, some pearl crystals, and it just, yeah, I'm just going with the flow, seeing how it looks and adding where I think it would look nice. I knew I wanted to go down the center of the nail, but I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do until I did it. And yeah, this is what I came up with, and I'm really quite happy with how they look. What do you think? So I'll just make sure that they are exactly where I want them to be, and then I'll flash cure them in place so that they don't move, because, you know, don't want them to slide off the nail while I'm doing other things. And now I'm going to top coat over my chrome nail to get that all sealed in and protected. I'll just do that first, and then I will be wiping my brush off, because some of those particles from the chrome powder will get into your top coat brush. So just make sure that you remove or you use a lint-free wipe to wipe off the brush from your top coat, so that you're not depositing the chrome powder particles into your top coat. You know, if you want to make sure that doesn't get contaminated. So I just flash cured that chrome nail in place so that the top coat doesn't slide anywhere, whilst I top coat all of the other nails. Oh, look at that. It's so nice. Oh, I love how these shell pieces look. Well, you'll see when I top coat. There we go. Oh, and the glitter, it just, oh, look at those shell pieces. I love that way the colours, sort of, you get to see the colours of the shells come to life. Oh, I love it. Do love a good top coat. Obviously the other nails are quite boring compared to the others, but this is what I was saying, it's a simple set, but it still looks pretty. It's a more delicate set, and then you've got the bling of the nails and the sort of pearly look of the little finger. I think this set really works. It's something a little bit different for me, because I'm quite wild with my nails, and my nails are normally really quite busy, but yeah, I fancied a bit more of a delicate set of nails, we'll say, for me anyway. This is probably not delicate for anyone else. It's probably still quite outlandish, but for me this is more of a delicate set. So yeah, just go around those crystals, make sure they're sealed, don't top coat over them, just get your brush right up around those crystals to sort of give them a setting to really stay in place, and that way you won't lose any that way. That's what I want to say. So yeah, this is the finished set. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for coming to my channel, spending some of your most precious time with me. I appreciate you ever so much. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Just join the Frosty Fam. I'd love to have you. If you have enjoyed this video, or it's helped you in any way, shape or form, do please click that like button. It takes but a second to do, and it really helps out my little channel. And if you feel like it, you're more than welcome to leave me a comment. I'm happy to talk to you. That's all I've got for this time, peeps. You take care now, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.